Alright everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another Rough Drafts. Today we are heading into the second format of Time Spiral blocks, so we're adding a pack of Planar Chaos to the mix. If you're not up on Planar Chaos, it's a pretty interesting set. So Time Spiral, with the time-shifted cards, was based on going back in time, revisiting old mechanics, themes, tribes, and so forth. Planar Chaos is a reimagining of the future, or the future when Planar Chaos came out, which was quite a while ago, but a reimagining of the future if the color pie was all messed up and different. So this is where we get Damnation, the Black Wrath of God, we get Green Ball Lightnings, we get White Lightning Bolts, almost. So it's a pretty interesting set. So the downside is there's not much value. Damnation is the only valuable card in the whole set. Otherwise, the next most valuable Damnation is like 14 tickets, and then the next most valuable card is less than 2 tickets, and there's a total of 4 cards worth more than 1 ticket. So not much value, but still pretty sweet. So we will see how it goes. Alright, so what do we get in pack 1? Time Spiral. Alright. Well, Celestial Dawn is our time-shifted card. Makes all lands plains, makes all your cards white, lets you spend white mana, although it was mana of any color. Teferi is really good, but people always get mad at me for drafting blue-black, but I think it's the best card in the pack. Conflagrate is also okay, it's just very expensive. If you can use it to flash it back and trigger madness or something, it can be alright. Paradise Bloom, Phyrexian Totem isn't horrible. Risky, but the commons are not very good. I mean, I think easily the best card is this Teferi, but is everyone just going to get mad at me again? That's the question. Do I have to shy away from it? Well, we're taking Teferi. Hopefully we don't end up blue-black. But we might. Blue-blacking our way through Time Spiral. A Stormcloud Djinn, 3/3 flyer, can only block flyers. You can pay double red to pump it +2/+0, and also deals 1 damage to you. Valor, time-shifted card. As long as it's in your graveyard and you control planes, creatures you control have first strike. Triskavelius, essentially a 4/4 flyer for 7. But it has 3+1/+1 counters, so you can remove those counters to make 1/1 Triskavelia artifact creature tokens with flying and sack those to deal a damage. Might just take the Stormcloud Djinn. Again, not very inspiring commons. There is a rogue. Alright, let's take Stormcloud Djinn. See if we can head towards blue-red, maybe. Is it? At least it won't be blue-black, right? What do we get here? Chrono Savant. 5/5 for 6. Return it from your graveyard to the battlefield, but you skip your next turn. Redwise. This suspend card is decent, although it dies to like pingers and such. Tectonic Fiend is big, but the echo cost is a lot. Probably just take Spiketail Drakeling. It's fine. I mean, 2/2 flyer for 3 is good on its own, and being able to sack it to counter a spell is upside, so not bad. Well, there's a Rift Bolt. Rift Bolt's very good. There's a Phyphis, something, which is good, but it's black, and we're trying to stay away from blue-black. Curse of the Cabal is hard to make work. I do like Dreamstalker, especially with Teferi, because you can play at instant speed to save a creature. But if we're going blue-red, I'm just taking Rift Bolt. Rift Bolt is a strong card. Basically a Lightning Bolt with Suspend 1, or 3 mana just to cast it right away. Now we get... interesting. Bone Splitter Sliver. Cancel. Empty the Warrens. We could try to empty the Warrens with Suspend cards. It might be hard in straight blue-red, though. Like, Search for Tomorrows is a good Suspend card in that deck. Pandemonium. I don't think we want to play it. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield, that creature's controller may have it deal damage equal to its power to a creature or player. of his or her choice. So basically, whenever a creature enters the battlefield on any side, its controller gets to deal its power's worth of damage to something. Could just take empty. Let's take empty. Maybe we can build a storm deck. Wow, that's a Tromp. Well, maybe we go Rug. Take the Tromp and use green for some more suspend cards. Or maybe even give up on blue, as crazy as that sounds. I don't think I'm going to pass the Tromp. We're taking Tromp. Tromp plus Empty the Warrens is kind of a combo in and of itself. Now we get what? Locket of Yesteryear, Black Fog and Darkness, Evil Eye of Urborg. Feebleness is okay, but not in our colors. Flamecore Elemental, Ground Riff, another storm card, but not a great one. We could just take Flamecore. Problem is if it gets bounced or something, it's so bad because of the echo cost. It's still big, though. I guess we can take it. Wheel of Fate? Okay. That kind of works with the Storm Suspend plan. Well, I guess we're trying to build a Storm deck. So what do we want in our Storm deck? Paradise Plume. When it enters the battlefield, choose a color. When a player casts a spell of that color, you gain a life. Add a mana of the chosen color. It is kind of fixing. It's very expensive, though. Not great, but there's not really anything else in this pack. Yeah, Subterranean Shambler. We'll take Paradise Plume, put it in the sideboard for now. Ether Flame Wall, probably just take this as defense. None of these other cards really work with what we're doing, but Ether Flame Wall is a fine blocker. Pit Keeper is a decent card, but we're not really in black. Tormod's Crypt, I like this art, but not really playable. I guess we take this Tectonic Fiend. I guess that's our backup plan. We could just be a big creature deck. Now what do we get? Well, Snapback Fuel Storm. We can exile a blue card, bounce a creature, so we get it's a free spell. I guess we can take it for that reason. None of this stuff really matters. I guess we'll take Children. Volcanic Awakening, Storm card, Plunder, Suspend card. We'll take Plunder since it suspends, and Ground Riff. Alright, what do we get here? Careful Consideration's pretty good. Just helps us cycle through our deck, find what we need. Grape Shot's another Storm card. Prismatic Lens is fixing. Yeah, let's take Careful Consideration. Careful Consideration is good. Well, speaking of suspend cards, Greater Gargadon is a good one. There's also a Sudden Death, a Fungal Reaches, and a Think Twice. I mean, we can't play Sudden Death, but we're taking Gargadon. Gargadon is good. The good news is we got a decent backup plan if we aren't actually storming, because we have just some good blue and red creatures. Terramorphic Expanse is decent. Might just take Mog War Marshal. It works fine with Tromp on its own, works well with Gargadon. Nothing else here is super exciting. I would play the Terramorphic Expanse. Let's take War Marshal. Another Celestial Dawn just keeps coming around. The Scout is probably the best card in the pack, but not really for us. Barb Shocker makes a player discard all the cards in their hand. Mystical Teachings gets an instant, which isn't very good for what we're doing. I guess we can just take Chronotog Totem. Not one of the better totems, but it adds mana, helps us ramp into our stuff. I think we'll take it. That pack is pretty bad overall for us. Now we get, what? A bunch of nothing. Sinbad, not really good for us. Moonlace, not really relevant. Wipe Away's okay, but I might just take Think Twice over Wipe Away. We might just end up being straight up blue-red. Ib Halfheart. Whenever another goblin you control becomes blocked, sack it. If you do, it deals 4 damage to the creature blocking it. Sack a mountain, put 2 1/1 red goblin creature tokens on the battlefield. It could be alright. There's another Snapback, but I don't think we want that many of them. We'll take Ib. So we might not really be storming. We might be just like semi-storming. Dan. Can attack unless defending player controls an island. When you control no island, sacrifice it. A 4/1 for 1. Not really for us. But there's not much for us in this deck. Herdnar is okay with our tokeny stuff. We might not want much green, though. Tolarian Sentinel, not exciting. I guess we'll take Herdnar, put it in the sideboard. Foil Trick Bind, not really playable in Limited. Fool's Demise, it's basically a Stifle, essentially. Fool's Demise, when an enchanted creature dies, return it to the battlefield under your control. When Fool's Demise is put in the graveyard from the battlefield, you return Fool's Demise. Jandor's Time Bug. Put a counter on or take a counter off a suspended permanent. I guess we'll take that. I don't think we'll play it. It could work with the Storm plan. So we might not really be storming. I think I said that a minute ago. But it might be more of playing good blue and red creatures, hopefully emptying for maybe 4 or 6 goblins when things go right, and then winning with Tromp the Domains and a bunch of big creatures. Here we get, man, Sun Spoiling still going around, Salt Crusted Steep. I mean, it adds mana, it adds green mana technically, we don't really need white mana. The rest of these cards don't do much for us. I'm going to take the Sudden Spoiling so we don't get blown out by it. Ooh, War Marshal came back. That's solid. We'll take this Pull from Eternity so it doesn't blow out our Greater Gargadon. Take another Herdnar. I guess we could be red-green with Herdnars. We have some good blue cards, though. Brassnat, 1 mana, 1/1 flyer. Have to pay 1 to untap it. We'll take another Plunder. Alright, hopefully pack 3 is good for us. Jedit Dragoons is our last pick. Alright. What do we get? Simian Spirit Guide. Shaper Parasite. When it's flipped up, a creature gets +2, -2, or -2, +2. Not bad. 4 mana, do nothing. Sulfur Elemental has Flash, can blow out a bunch of white creatures. Timbermare can close out a game, has Haste, taps all other creatures, so it's 5 damage, almost guaranteed. But then it has Echo of 6. Deadwood Treefolk gets creatures back when it enters or leaves the battlefield. Keldon Marauders is okay. Not really exciting. Might just take Sulfur Elemental. Spirit Guide isn't worth that much. Nothing in this set really is. Shaper Parasite might just be better. Yeah, let's take Shaper Parasite. It's sort of a removal spell. Now we get Ovenize. Basically makes a creature a 0/1 until end of turn and it loses all abilities. Not a horrible removal spell for our deck. Erratic Mutation is also a removal spell. Those are the really the only cards we'd consider on color. So we'll take the Ovenize. Shaper Parasite, Magus of the Arena. Tap a creature you control and a creature target opponent's choice he or she controls. Those creatures fight each other. Could be worth it. There's also Prodigal Pyromancer, though, which I know is very good. Magus of the Arena, we do have some big creatures, so we should be able to fight things pretty easily. Maybe we take Magus of the Arena. I kind of like that idea. Shaper Parasite is good, Prodigal Pyromancer is good, but we'll take Magus of the Arena. Man, so many Mesa Enchantresses going around. Another Mana Tithe, another Melancholy. As for us, there isn't much. Simian Spirit Guide, I guess, might actually be the pick. A weird blue discard spell. Target opponent reveals his or her hand. You choose a non-land card with converted mana cost X or less from it. The player discards it. Really expensive discard spell. We don't want Battered Sliver. Even Rift Watchers on our colors. We'll take Spirit Guide. Pongify. We might just want Pongify. What else is there? Piracy Charm. Can kill a little creature, make someone discard at instant speed. Basically a Funeral Charm. Reality Acid, I don't think we have any real combos with. Yeah, let's just take Pongify. Destroys a creature. It's basically Rapid Hybridization. Or actually Rapid Hybridization, except it makes a green ape. So you can kill a creature for 1 mana, but the creature's controller gets a 3/3. Now we get not much of anything. Black Counterspell, Keldon Marauders, Circle of Affliction. A weird drainy enchantment. White Main Lion is good. I might just hate draft White Main Lion. I don't think we're going to play Keldon Marauders. It just dies so quickly. Alright, let's take the White Main. Just hate draft it. We're probably just taking another Simian Spirit Guide. Reality Acid is a weird removal spell. It's better if you can combo. It has Vanishing 3, so you remove a time counter each upkeep. When the last one is removed, the permanent gets sacrificed. Problem is, we don't really have a good way of like bouncing it, so it's just like wait 3 turns and kill a permanent, which isn't great. Let's just take, or we could take Dreamscape Aerialist, Artist, Dreamscape Artist. Yeah, let's take Dreamscape Artist as weird fixing. Temporal Extortion. When you cast it, any player may pay half their life rounded up. If they do, you counter it. Otherwise, you take another turn after this one. Another Reality Acid that we don't have any good combos with. I mean, I guess we can play it on something and sack it to Gargadon is sort of a combo, but not a good one. Take another Dreamscape. Take another Spirit Guide. Take a Firefright Mage. Well, we'll take Reality Acid now. Could sideboard it in the right situation. So we got to cut a couple things. Probably going to be Wheel of Fate. We're not really storming off like we had hoped. Might just cut Ether Flame Wall now. We have enough other 2-drops which are better. And I'm going to take Manitize so we don't get blown out by it. Take Deadly Grub. Take Dash Hopes. And last but not least, maybe we just cut Chronotog Totem as well. Another Dash Hopes. Alright, so, well, that looks like our deck. Pretty much blue-red, splashing Tromp. We got some big, powerful creatures. Got a Magus of the Arena. We can kind of go wide with War Marshals and such. So basically, we want to churn through our deck and then just Tromp for the win. We can also semi-storm, like maybe get 4 tokens with Empty the Warrens, which isn't horrible. So yeah, I think we're just going to run it like that. Add some mana. 1 forest I think is fine. We'll draw into it eventually with our careful consideration and such. I wonder if we could really Wheel of Fate. It's a powerful effect. We'd have to hope we could just play things quickly and empty our hand and then wheel. But it's, yeah, let's not. I don't think it's worth it. We're just going to submit, run it like that. And we'll be back with round 1 of our Time Spiral Planar Chaos Rough Drafts.